वी जस्ट हैड वन सेशन जहाँ पे हमने काफ़ी क्वेश्चंस लिए टीचर्स के माइंड में, टीचर्स जो एक्सपीरियंस कर रहे प्रॉब्लम्स बच्चों की साइकोलॉजी के रिलेटेड, कुछ और क्वेश्चंस हम लेंगे एंड आई एम श्योर ये सेशन भी इतना ही हेल्पफुल रहेगा हमारे टीचर्स के लिए. सो मयूरिका जी, और एक क्वेश्चन जो हमारे और एक टीचर के माइंड में आ रहा है, शी इज़ राधिका and she is from Dehradun. She is observing this typical problem of low self-esteem in children. So this low self-esteem has become a very common problem what all the teachers are coming across. जहाँ पे वो या डिप्रेशन से जा रहे हैं या और कोई प्रॉब्लम है, टीचर को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. So how do a teacher handle low self-esteem? You know, जो common problem होते जा रहा है, especially post-COVID.
So I would first ask you to first understand what is low self-esteem. Low self-esteem meaning low of self-esteem. Then what is self-esteem? Well, self-esteem is the fact that I like myself. I like who I am. I think I'm good. Something as small as this. Just if we have this permanent state of mind that I'm good. What kind of person are you? I'm a good person. Do good things happen to you? Yes, mostly good things happen to me. Are you good to other people? Yes, most of the time I am good to other people. What kind of work do you do? The work that I deliver is also mostly good. So these are the core concepts of self-esteem. I am good. Good things happen to me. I deliver good work. People are good to me. I am good to most people. So this is what we need children to understand and internalize about themselves. So having those simple games whereby you have to write something positive about someone in the class, compulsorily something good about someone in the class, then you pass on the sheet from one to another, and then everybody has one sheet whereby everybody has written something positive about you. Children are going to treasure that piece of paper for the rest of their life. There have been many examples where people have actually done that. That becomes the most important document of their life, more important than birth certificate.
This is so good. Because here I think they also might not be knowing themselves so much what their friends know.
Yes.
And at the same time you learn here to appreciate somebody, to find good things in something.
Yes.
This is really good. But when a teacher is seeing a child who is going into depression, you know, what is a right time where a teacher should get parents' attention and a parent in return should get some medical help?
See, if you are seeing a child deteriorate constantly, and these days all schools have a school counselor, take the school counselor's opinion. If you don't have a school counselor, refer the child to a child psychologist, refer the child to a pediatrician and get an external expert's opinion. It's very important to get an opinion. Do not go for a right time. Meaning, when the severity is too much, that is when maybe we will involve an expert. What is the harm if we involve an expert early on? Maybe the expert might just say, hey, don't fret too much. अरे इतना कुछ डरने वाली बात नहीं थी, क्या छोटा छोटा बात लेके आप लोग आ जाते हो. But at least that problem has been struck out that okay, this problem is not severe. So today when we have these kind of experts available, whose services are available to us, why not discuss with this expert once? So I would say, if you see a doubt, get an expert involved.
That's, I think, a very valid point what you said today. Now, I'm sure these things what we are discussing, it's going to save so many children's life and it's going to change their life. And it's going to make parents' ka life little easy. Now they are sorted ki what is the right time where we take some clinical help. We have a student who is from Zimbabwe. Now she is raising a very, very common problem. That is a eating disorder. Eating disorder and obesity in children post-COVID has become a big problem. Now now what happens is like here children don't understand, you know, when to eat, what is right, what is wrong, and they just keep munching sitting in front of a TV. Even COVID is gone, they don't want to go out and play, and that has added on to the obesity part.
True.
So how do you think now here, not only my teachers, how do my parents can be helped, you know, with such kind of a problem?
This is a very pertinent problem, but first I think we should first empathize with the children who have gone through this time period of COVID, where, you know, their huge energy was contained within the four walls of a house, and they obliged and they were compliant with us. उन्होंने हमारी बात मानी.
They were the best one who adapted it.
Yeah, वो माने, वो रहे चार दीवारों के अंदर. Okay, so we have to really thank them for making such a big sacrifice for the safety of the family.
And they did it so simply. You know, they did not, I have not seen children who have, you know, crapped on it, like, you know, who were like, nahi hum log bahar jayenge, ye nahi wo nahi. They have adapted it so nicely, but now this is the problem.
Right. So at that time, eating was their thing to do, or eating was something that gave them some pleasure. We cannot take it away from them suddenly. Now, how about we slowly, gradually bring in some more elements into it? From eating, shift to cooking.
Okay.
From eating, if you want to eat something, I want to eat a vada pav. Well, how about we cook a vada pav together? Okay, I want to eat a burger. How about we cook a burger together? So the first time you may cook a burger with a potato patty. Second time you may cook a burger with a kidney beans patty, a rajma patty. It's much healthier.
Yes.
Okay, and then slowly bringing innovations, taking the picture of what the child has cooked, put it up on Instagram, upgrade what the child is cooking into more and more healthier options, and slowly your child will actually be learning a very essential skill in life, which is important for survival, which is cooking. If you can cook for yourself, you can survive in any part of the world.
So true.
In any circumstances, you're going to be happy. So let's inculcate that. At school level, you can also have cooking competitions.
That's a brilliant idea.
At school level, you can have awards for the healthiest tiffin somebody has brought.
Okay.
At school level, you can have a salad making competition. Most innovative salad gets the award. So we have to encourage and appreciate the healthy eating, and then you will automatically see unhealthy eating will decrease.
Oh, that's a wonderful and a very creative idea what you have given. I'm sure my teachers are listening to this, and they can go ahead and talk to the school authorities to have such brilliant competitions, which will not only increase the life skills, it will also help the children to shift from a junk food to a healthy food. So this was a very good question which was taken very well, doctor. We have Pooja with us. This Pooja is our student from Aurangabad, and she has a question saying that we don't see that respect children are giving to the elders or teachers or school principals or any senior people, what we used to see in our times, what we used to see before. Now this is nothing to do with COVID, but yes, we don't see the same respect what teacher give to the teachers or to the elders in the family. So what can teachers do in that? Because teachers like Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara. So here I feel that teachers can play a very important role, but how, that you can tell us.
Again, we'll start with understanding the person who is involved in the problem. Earlier, if we would tell the student that if you don't behave well, you will be the biggest curse of all time, you will be cursed with that, you will be suspended. Now if you tell them you'll be suspended, that's exactly what I want, ma'am. I want to be suspended. Please suspend me. I don't want to come to school. So this is something that we have to understand, that they don't want to be in school in the first place. So that fear of getting suspended has gone away. They don't want to be with us. we have to create an environment which is attractive for them, because of which they will want to come to school. School has to be that place which is more fun, more interaction, engagement, joy, laughter, and all of this can be planned very well. If your curriculum revolves around fun, laughter, engagement, then the child will feel that, oh, I want to spend more time in school. Then the fear of getting suspended will come back. First part of the answer. But until that happens, we can still show them the right way of behaving. So model the right behavior for them. So talk about how one child has overcome aggressive behavior, maybe from some another class. So show them what respect means by actually respecting the students. If you know there is this particular student who is known to create disturbance in the class and does it more than other students, maybe that student just wants your attention. In fact, most likely that student wants your attention. So before you start the class, maybe you could just address that child that, hello, how are you today? Are you comfortable? Did you eat well?
You're and giving that attention.
Yeah, and not in a sarcastic manner. Not that, in a genuinely caring manner, that I respect you. And whenever we give something to someone, that person feels compelled to return that to us. If we give something good to someone, the person will feel pressured to return that good. कुछ बुरा बोलेंगे, कुछ गाली देंगे, तो वो भी रिटर्न में बुरा बोलता है, गाली देता है. So we will have to show them the right way of behaving with the examples of other students. Appreciate the good behavior, appreciate the progress in behavior. So maybe there is a certain student in your class who's very well behaved all the time. Now appreciating the same student every day is not as encouraging for the rest of the others. They will think that he has this inherent quality, ये तो ऐसा ही है, इसने कौन सा बड़ा तीर मार लिया, हाँ, he is like this only. But when we appreciate progress also, that a miscreant has been quite normal or quite decent for the past 3 days, past 1 month, past 6 months, and we applaud and we give him a standing ovation, and the standing ovation continues for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, those 5 minutes will create such a deep impact in the mind of that child who used to create mischief that he will always yearn to be the best. And the others in the class who are constantly clapping for those 5 minutes, their palms are going to ache and they will have this intense desire that I want to be in that position.
मुझे भी वो तालियां चाहिए.
Yes, वो loud clap मेरे लिए होना चाहिए. And people are going to be inspired. So using these techniques of appreciation, we can yield the behavior that we want.
Right.
वो behavior जो हमको चाहिए वो मिल सकता है आसानी से.
So very important point you mentioned here today is give and take. You give respect, you get respect. You give love, you get back that. And appreciation is a key.
Is the key.
Is the key. And a very last question I have for you. Now this is something what I feel. Even I see if I see my child or I see my friend's child, fear is a main thing in a child today. They have a fear of getting up late. They have a fear of not completing homework on time. They have a fear of losing somebody because somebody is ill at home. They have fear for every small thing today, which I think was not when we were growing up. We were fearless. Now so much of fear, is this because of the competition what they have, or is this because of that constant back to back we put them in that sessions, अभी school है, फिर class है, फिर tuition है, फिर extracurricular activities है. I really don't know ये क्यों है. So ये fear के ऊपर आप हमको कुछ enlighten करेंगे डॉक्टर?
एक important चीज़ ये है कि हमने systematically बच्चों को डराया भी है.
So we are the one who have created that fear.
We've contributed, not if not we've completely created it, but we've contributed. If you don't get good marks, then you will be cursed to live in poverty and misery. If you are not a good student, then You will be cursed to live in poverty and misery. If people don't like you, then you will be cursed to live in misery and loneliness. So we have, genuinely contributed to scaring them. And also, these children are much more intelligent than the children who have come to this planet before. And these children are able to see a connection that things can go wrong. So they know that if I don't perform, things can actually go wrong. Right. They have seen that children who have not performed before them have actually done poorly in their professional career. So they don't want that for themselves. They're afraid. They're afraid of losing validation of teachers and society and parents and friends. They're afraid of those things. They cannot imagine living a life without those validations, and they cannot imagine living a life without success. अगर मैं successful नहीं, तो मैं कुछ भी नहीं.
And this is exactly a problem parents are facing. How do they balance this? See, they have to put pressure and they don't have to put pressure, like what you say. Like you have to make things very normal for them. But how do our parents balance in this?
ये जो मैंने लास्ट कहा कि अगर हम सक्सेसफुल नहीं तो हम कुछ भी नहीं. सबसे पहली बात समझने वाली ये है, सक्सेस का एक स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशन है ही नहीं. ओके, देयर इज समबडी who clears his exams and all his competitive exams with flying colors, gets into the best top universities, okay, in the best engineering college, in the best management college, ends up in the best package, gets a job in UK, Dubai, in Singapore, in Canada, is making the best money, is then working very hard to make the best money for those best companies that have hired them, is working very hard and then getting a lot of money and spending it left, right, center over a foreign holiday. Yeah, that is expressed as success. But that is not necessarily success. That is not necessarily as glamorous as it is shown to be. Okay, that is not necessarily as satisfactory as it is shown to be. There may be another child who's got mediocre marks, got into a mediocre job, but has got good friends, is celebrating Ganesh Chaturthi in his locality, is singing and dancing during the festivals in the locality, has got a mediocre wife, has got a mediocre car, and is having a good time, is hoping for a holiday to the nearby location, not an international holiday. And when he or she goes for that local holiday, enjoys it to the best of his capacity. So success cannot have one definition. We first have to help children define their own success.
Right.
Next, we have to tell them that even if you don't achieve this success, it's okay. Because you can any day change your definition.
True.
Even if you don't achieve your success as you have defined it, still be ready to tolerate it. To tolerate the pain, because the pain of not achieving your success is not permanent. If you do not get the marks that you intended, if you do not get into the university you wanted, yes, you will experience some pain, but that pain is not permanent. So you can tolerate it. And the more you are willing to tolerate pain, the more you will be willing to try innovative solutions. कि मैं ऐसे नहीं ऐसे पढ़ के देखता हूँ, मैं कोचिंग क्लासेस नहीं जाता, मैं एक सेल्फ स्टडी करता हूँ, या मैं ऑनलाइन कोर्स ज्वाइन कर लेता हूँ जो बहुत सस्ते में है, एंड इट इज़ इन माई बजट, इट इज़ इकोनॉमिक, लेट मी ट्राई इट दिस वे, आई विल सेव टाइम ऑल्सो एंड आई विल एन्जॉय माई टाइम मोर. सो द मोर वी आर विलिंग टू टॉलरेट दैट वी मे फेल, नॉट दैट वी आर प्रिपेयरिंग टू फेल. But if I fail, I'll tolerate it. No,
it's okay it's okay getting.
Yes. So that is when we are willing to try creativity and innovations. If there is no creativity, no innovations, then we will be doing what everyone else is doing, and then actually our chances of success will decrease. Same answers written by everybody, same procedure followed as everyone else.
True.
So with this willingness to fail, creativity will increase, chances of standing out will increase. You will actually be able to come up with solution with value which no one else is offering.
True. So I think now we as a parents, we have to teach our children, don't worry if you get failed. No fear. If you're getting failed, you're going to be more creative next time. You're going to put more work in that. You're going to put your best foot in. So the best things are coming and they're on the way.
And they're on the way. So I always tell in parenting workshops that do not focus on performance, focus on practice. If the practice is great, applaud your child for the practice. So if the child has studied very well in the class test but has got poor marks in the final exam, teachers, please make sure to tell the child, hey, it's okay, I saw you throughout the year working very hard. For me, that is what is more important. For me, you are successful because you worked hard throughout the year.
And I think every teacher follows this. The fear of the children is going to become zero because they have no fear of marks. They are going to be more hungry to get your appreciation, and they're going to be doing their best in getting your appreciation. Thank you so much, Doctor. It was a wonderful session with you, and I'm sure this wisdom of words what we got from today is going to help so many teachers and my students. Thank you.